Hello, hello, hello. I have a new microphone. Is it picking up my sound? Do I need to move it? I'm trying to move it. Hello, hello. Testing my sound on my brand new microphone. I got a new microphone. It came today from Amazon in the mail. Am I loud enough? Let's see. I'm not going to start my recap yet. I'm just checking to see if I am understandable. Do I need to move it closer? This is what it looks like. It's so cute. It came with a little fuzzy thing, and a really fuzzy thing, but I'm not putting the fuzzy thing on it right now. Let's see. Can you hear me? Loud and clear. Is there an echo? Am I awesome? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start in a minute here. Well, let me wait a minute. Let me see if anybody else wants to come in. Thank you, Kevin. So no echo. Okay, lovely. Good investment in a microphone. So I'm really excited about my channel right now. I have 12 subscribers. 12. And I'm hoping that like next year I'll be celebrating a much bigger number. But hey, I like started the channel like 3 weeks ago. And I have 0 Facebook presence right now because my Facebook, I don't want to talk about it. All right, well, this blanket behind me, I'm on a learning curve. I will be getting better at this. But you don't need to see anything but my beautiful face in order to hear this recap. Oh, what's behind me, you ask? No one asked, but this is artwork by a local artist named Jared Powers. He makes blankets. If you're interested, he has a ton. This is one of his most benign things. So he has skulls, and he's got a Alice in Wonderland, some really creepy art. This is a sea turtle because I'm a teacher and I need to have pleasant images behind me. And normally on my teaching screen, you don't see it doesn't quite look like this. This is me, and this is my gnome. This I thought it had eyes. It doesn't have eyes. Leave it to me to buy something like this. I don't remember where I got this, but I had to have it. I knew it would come in handy. Today is that day. All right, seems like I'm wasting time. I am. And now I'm blurry. What's the trick to fixing this? Hold on. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to my channel. I'm Gnome in the Cottage, and this is my review of 90 Day Fiancé season Happily Ever After, season 3. I'm sorry. Let me start over. Welcome. I'm Gnome in the Cottage. This is my review of 90 Day Fiancé season 7, episode 3. It's Happily Ever After. Wow, that was a lot. Yeah, so I watched it today. I didn't wait until tomorrow or the next day to watch it. I wanted to make sure I watched it and see if the season. Hey, you know what? It was a pretty good episode, actually. I went into it a little bit concerned because I knew we were going to see Angela, and as expected, I'm not thrilled about the Angela segment. But who should I start with? Any advice? Does my does anybody want to give me a couple to start with? I have my tea. This is throat coat tea. I was just teaching about the Canterbury Tales for 2 hours. Well, see, I have notes. Should we start at the beginning? Should we start with Jenny and Sumit? Let's do that. Jenny and Sumit. Jenny and Sumit. Actually, this was fairly minimal. Their airtime on this screen. This episode was basically they apologized to each other, and it was nice to see. I like it when I see functional couples acting functional and modeling functional behavior in a very dysfunctional context, because the mom being so angry is, I don't know if I can say objectively wrong. It is, well, I can't understand. I can understand cultural differences. And I can understand the pain that Sumit is feeling. And I can understand the hurt and pain that Jenny is feeling and the rejection that both of them are feeling. And, well, I don't know. I listen to Dr. Honda, and maybe that shows through because I've got a lot of compassion for these people. But at the same time, I mean, mom, come on. I don't believe that this is storyline. I don't believe that this is drama about drama. I believe that the mom is this upset that Jenny and Sumit got married, and it's crazy. And no, we as an audience at this point, it's insane. These people love each other. Let them be. And for anybody thinking they can't understand why Sumit doesn't just write off his mom, it's your mom, it's his mom. And clearly this is you know what, I don't know the term, but it's not enmeshment. But there's some kind of, Sumit mentioned that there was the cultural difference between India and the United States. Well, I simply don't believe that means that Indian mothers are all psychotic. And I'm not saying that Sumit's mom is psychotic. She's certainly being portrayed that way, though. She's certainly being portrayed as somebody who is so apparently rigid in her thinking and has experienced some trauma. Well, think about it. I mean, look at how she reacted to Sumit and Jenny's marriage as though it was something they had done to her. How can he do this to me? How can he do this to me? She said it over and over and over again. Do what to you, ma'am? I'm sorry. Do what? To you. The man is 33 years old. I'm trying to imagine a scenario in which my sons, but I'm thinking of my adult son right now, were to marry somebody and tell me that he was happy and in love, and where I would say, how can you do this to me? And I am no angel of a mother. I am not a model of good citizenship either. I really try to put myself in other people's shoes. And in this situation, it's difficult. Now, it isn't difficult for me to understand Sumit feeling devastated by his mother disowning him. My mother's hugely important to me. And if my mother disowned me, my mother wouldn't disown me. But yeah, I understand being close to your mom and feeling my mother wouldn't make me choose between her and my partner. So yeah, that was it. I don't want to spend too long on that. They apologized to each other. And you know what they did? They apologized. They did a good job apologizing. each of them, and I want to point this out, each of them said what they had done to cause harm to the other person. Jenny said, I'm sorry I yelled. Now, she did try to explain herself. It did sound a little bit like excuse making, but she said, well, I was worried that you were just going to run after them and abandon me. And by the time you came back, I felt that you had already left and you'd already chosen your mom over me. My hair is bothering me. Should I put it in the? Why not, right? I can do what I want here on YouTube. It's not Facebook. It doesn't disable me every 2 seconds for no reason. So anyway, and then Submit also apologized that Jenny was hurt. It was very lovely, healthy dynamic to see. And I feel bad for them. I really do. Okay, I'm going to move on from that because that's all that was, really. There wasn't much more to it. I like the couple. I really do. I'm going to move on to who should I save for last? I guess I'm going to wait. Let's just get Angela out of the way right now, shall we? We're starting out with Angela. She's in a yoga studio taking a yoga class. And Angela has confused her yoga session with a therapist's office, much as she does later in the immigration attorney's office. She confuses the immigration attorney with a therapist, and much to the chagrin of the therapist. So why are we seeing Angela in a yoga studio? Well, obviously, Angela's had the weight loss surgery. She's had the breast reduction and teeth. And if I haven't mentioned it already, I've been deleted from social media, so I can't follow these people on Instagram right now. I have no idea what's happening with Angela. And it's not as easy as you think to create a new account. So I wish I did know what was happening with them. But at the same time, maybe it's a good thing because I'm not spoiling it for myself, which I tend to do. But Angela is, I'm just going to say, she looks good. I liked what she was wearing in the confessional. The pink top that she had on, I think it showcased her chest in a way that was flattering. Angela's face, it's hard. I mean, she's been a smoker and that shows on her face. And hey, by the way, I am not throwing shade to anybody in any situation, whether they're a smoker, whether they're a drinker, whether they're a Jovi, whether they're an Angela. I smoked for years. And it's hard to quit smoking. So I understand Angela's didn't quit. And she went, it's hard, she got healthier. I don't know how healthy she really got. Do we think Angela looks better is what I want to know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do we think Angela looks better just because she's lost the weight? I am not one to sit here and rip on another woman on her looks. I'm not. I see beauty in everybody. But when Angela I was looking at some of the comparison video clips when she was heavier, her face, I don't know. She looks good. I guess she looks good. What I don't like is what's going on. Angela is calling this guy, what's his name? Billy? Billy is a guy. Who's Billy? Billy's a Canadian. Sorry for the Canadians. Sorry. No, I'm just kidding. I love Canadians. I'm half of Canadian descent as well. But I'm not from Canada. My grandmother was from Canada. But anyway, so is Billy. Who is Billy? Billy's a TikTok guy. Billy's a stripper. Wait, I'm confusing myself. Angela at yoga. What did I write in my notes? Teeth look good. Boobs look good. And I know that was a big concern of hers after her surgery. So I'm just going to sum this up. Angela says that Michael hasn't, in about 5 months, they haven't had phone sex. He hasn't said he loved her. He hasn't complimented her on her boobs. He's not making her feel good about herself. And now she thinks that they're scamming. He's scamming her. Here's the thing. I heard a rumor. I don't know if I should sing again. Sorry about that. And um, that they actually planned the entire thing for the show. And I wouldn't be surprised because Angela, we know she has been attempting to be on um, daytime talk shows and all kinds of reality TV for well before 90 Day Fiancé. However, at the end of the day, it's turned into a relationship and it's turned into something real that we've seen on our screens. And we like the drama. That's why we turn on our TVs, right? So Michael, we haven't seen Michael. That's what really made me sad. Why didn't we see Michael? Why didn't we see him in Nigeria? It's not like they can't send the producers and send the cameras to Nigeria. We've got Usman and um isn't he in Lagos? Right. I mean, they went to Abuja. Well, I went not at Usman yet. Sorry. But I mean, yes, we know why didn't we hear from Michael's side? I like Michael. Don't we all like Michael? Maybe we don't all like Michael. It's okay to have preferences, but Angela also went to her immigration. She's making plans to go see her yoga. And oh, wait, what am I talking about? Oh my God, it's too late at night. Okay, she's making plans to go see her friend. He's an artist in Canada. He sent her some art. This is the story we're getting, and so that we know he's an artist, he had his art behind him on the FaceTime call, and she's flirting with him and he's flirting with her, and it doesn't seem real to me. Um, it seems like flirting. It doesn't seem like that's going anywhere, but it seems like it's for the show, for the cameras. Whatever. However, I don't like it because she's clearly the storyline is she might go cheat on Michael, and they're married, and we don't want to see that. She would flip out if Michael did that to her. The reason it bothers me is it's going to hurt Michael. And I don't think that Michael's done anything to deserve that. Oh, what was his big sin? He started an Instagram account. Now, I don't know what Angela's issue is, aside from insecurity, extreme insecurity, but Angela, you are on TikTok with a man, a male stripper, dancing and doing TikToks. You are flirting with your plastic surgeon. Oh, and what was the big thing that happened on the tello that she actually got a ride home and went in the car and they left together, her surgeon, her doctor. I mean, what is she doing now? I don't know. That's fine, but what is she doing? And then he can't have an Instagram. Michael started Instagram. He blocked her ass, and probably because she was making horrible, nasty comments. I don't know. Give Michael an Instagram. If he has an Instagram, good for him. He's doing better than I am at this point. If Michael has an Instagram, yay for Michael. Follow him for me in lieu of an Instagram account. I bid you follow Michael on Instagram. Find out what he's up to. Find out why he's not on. But then she went and saw her immigration attorney, and the immigration attorney was like, Angela's confused. Angela thinks I'm a therapist. I don't want to know the things she's telling me. And the reason he doesn't want to know, I mean, legal reasons. I mean, he's an immigration attorney, and I leaned on my desk and everything almost fell over, including my tea. That would have been painful. And he, she's saying, I think he said he would take his Instagram down if I sent him $5,000. And I like that. I'm sorry. I like it that he said that. That's good. Yes. Everyone has a price, right? You can't make someone take down their Instagram just because you're insecure. Well, you can. I mean, you can have a preference. You can ask, hey, it makes me really insecure. Can we, can we talk about how to handle that. But Michael's like, sure, here's how we solve that. Send me $5,000. Michael hasn't shown himself to be a scammer. If he's a scammer, he has put himself through the ringer with this woman, right? So I don't think that this is a valid excuse for Michael to have to take down his Instagram. He blocked her, whatever. And so she saw the immigration attorney. Immigration attorney says, Michael's visa is imminent. And I said, yay, because I want Michael in America. I don't know about you. I don't know about you, my lovely friends, but I want to see Michael here in America. I don't want to see Angela going off with some stripper in Canada. That's not why I turn on the show. I turn on to see Michael. I turn on to see Mike. I like okay. So there's times when Angela's just awful. You're right. I say to you, there are times when Angela says things that are she's the entitled American from Hazelhurst, Georgia. I don't know if I'm doing the accent right. But yeah. I just don't know. I don't turn on my TV to see Angela doing yoga and complaining to her immigration lawyer. It's just not why I watch the show. So what did I write in my notes? Looks like Michael says that he does think that Michael is in it for the money, and the tiger is not going to change his stripes because he's in America. Okay. Yep, tigers are not indigenous to America either. Just putting that out there. But whatever. I mean, that's what it is. So what should we move on to? Should we move on to Kim and Usman? Yes, let's move on to Kim and Usman. Okay, Kim and Usman. So we've got Usman. Is that where we start out with Usman? Let me make sure I'm right on this. Oh, no. We start out with Jamal driving mom to the airport. And agreed. I really felt you could see it on his face. They're in the car, and Kim is just fangirling out, making Jamal ever listen to his music. And she turns on, I don't know, Spotify or iTunes. I don't know where she's got Usman streaming. So, boy, Usman, did you guys notice later on that Kim was wearing a shirt that said USB? Usman Soldier Boy. Does she realize that 0 people outside of the realm of the 90-day audience are going to understand that she's not simply like advertising? One of these jobs right here. She's not like, everybody, yay, my thumb drive. I'm just going to label myself USB. Kim likes to wear her. So Kim is just super fangirl. She really is. I like him. I really do. A friend of mine named Jen, who's also a subscriber, was telling me that she actually wrote into a different show and wrote a question for an interview with Kim, and Kim answered the question and answered it very well. Yeah, I like him. I really do. I don't like her idea that the second wife should be subjugated and not get any love and not get any attention, affection, not be seen, not be heard, and simply be a vessel for having and raising children. That's not fair. That is a violation of human rights, isn't it? Aren't we trying to move past that in society? Kim, if you're listening to me, I love you. I really do. I enjoy you very much. But listen to what you're saying. A poly relationship is hard. It might not be for you. We as human beings have this like hierarchy. It's shaped like a pyramid of needs. Some guy named Maslow came up with this idea. And one of the things we all need, besides for the survival, food, safety, acceptance, respect, and love from other people, we need it. So why should second wife? Because it's not polyamory, it's polygamy. So polygamy means second wife doesn't get to have lovers of her own, I don't believe traditionally in Nigerian, in African. I don't know much, okay? But I believe that the woman would not be, it wouldn't be accepted for her to have a second husband. So why doesn't she get love? And how is that supposed to be okay? It's not. So if you're not okay with that, Kim, I'm talking to you, Kim. If you're not okay with that, and I don't blame you, I get it. We're our culture, we are in a monogamous culture, and it's hard. As much as I like the idea of a polyamorous relationship, I don't want to share either. So yeah, I get it. So why don't you get a surrogate? Is that a possibility? My friend Jen mentioned that to me. We were chatting about it tonight. Why don't you get a surrogate? Are you have good eggs? Can you do that? I know you don't want to. I know you said you don't really want. Well, wait a minute. Did you say you don't want to have like raise kids? Maybe this relationship isn't for you, Kim. I know you're in love because you fell in love with someone you're a fan of, and I understand what that is, but think about the day-to-day life with Usman. Is it going to change? Is it going to change? No. And Yami, let's talk about that Yami. We got to hear so much. I'm never going to be able to look at a cassava the same way again. So what happened? Jamal drove her to the airport. He listened to the music in the car, and she was wicked excited. There's my New England. Yeah, she's wicked excited, and she's listening to, and you see Jamal's face is just like on national TV, and this is my mom, and she's saying this is good music. And actually, Jamal in the confessional didn't crap all over it. He said, it sounds pretty good, and at least he's got music, and at least he's, got some talent. I guess. Do I think Usman has talent? Do I have talent? I don't sing. Well, I do, but then people ask me to stop. My little 7-year-old, if I ever sing, he goes, Mom, could you stop? Could you please stop? When I hear Usman sing, I actually do a little dance because I'm easy to get to dance. So I don't know. What else happens? Kim gets to Nigeria and they're in Abuja. Hold on, where are they? Da, 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 da. See, I shouldn't say Usman dancing. Oh, we see Usman dancing in the mirror. And he says, clean, 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 clean. I wrote that in my notes. Queen Kambali. Here's the thing with that whole queen, my queen, my queen. I know that's an African thing. I know that's it's Nigerian specifically, but you know what bothers me about it? Romance scams, right? I mean, how many? I don't know if it's just me who watches like all of these women on YouTube channels about romance scams who tell their story about having been scammed, and they love it because the scammer, which they find out later, reveal, they don't rarely do this as a scammer reveal himself, but this, they think it's great because, oh, he said that I was his queen, my queen, my queen, my queen. And all I can think when I hear my queen is that's a romance scammer. Now I know I'm equating it the wrong way in my mind, but that's what I think. My queen and my king. First of all, love to Queen Elizabeth. Okay, I much respect. England lost. What a woman. Really, I'm not gonna bash the Queen, but I am gonna say, like, do you want to be treated like a queen? Think about that for a minute. Like, or a king. Uh, have you seen how kings and queens live? They have servants. They have people to help them dress. They never get a moment to themselves. Um, I mean, I'm sorry. I just am doing a whole big study on Henry VIII and Elizabeth I and Victoria, and I mean, and honestly, if you're wife of Henry VIII, I mean, if you're queen, you're just as liable to get your head chopped off as not. So I don't really think queen and king is a good pet name, but that may be just me. I don't want anyone to call me the queen of anything. I just don't. Maybe I'll change my mind if I ever become queen. But that's about as likely to happen as uh, speckled unicorns are about to fly out of my arse. They're not. Well, maybe. You never know. You never know. So clean, 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 clean. So their plan is to spend some time in Abuja, which is apparently a city, and then go to Sokoto. Wait a minute, I'm saying it wrong. Sokoto. 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 I'm not trying to mispronounce things. They're not natural to my mouth. And they go they kiss lightly on the mouth in the airport. They lower their masks and it looks like, you're kissing your grandmother. And Kim, it's not that you're a grandmother, it's just the chemistry. The chemistry isn't really, I'm not seeing it, but you're not the only couple that doesn't have chemistry on the show. So, I mean, if you want to talk about no chemistry, we can go to Bilal and Shada, but let's stick with you, Kim. Let's stick with you for a minute. You wanted the yummy. We talked about that you guys hugged. You had a small kiss. You wanted the yummy. Usman was going to give you the yummy, but then you Usman ordered samosa and cowtail. Then you talked about your different names for sex, which was yummy, fertilizer. Do y'all know what's in fertilizer, right? Is poop. So I'm not sure what you're doing. And hey, I'm not about to yuck your yum. So to each their own. To each their own, right? Fertilizer, African ingredient. The African ingredient. Well, well, well. Well, as excited as Kim was to get the yummy, sadly they woke up the next day and there had been no yammying, no yammering. Well, there was yammering, but maybe they just like got drunk on champagne and passed out. They talked, and apparently nobody had informed them that there's such a thing as morning sex because they were mourning MOURN the lack of yammying in the night. And my fiance and I looked at one another. We're like, do they know? Do they know that they can get down right now? I mean, I know there's a camera crew, but I've seen many a couple kick out the camera crew and say, "Get out of here. We want to get our yammy on." Well, nobody has said that, but Ken, but he didn't strip off his gold Soldier Boy Usman chain and no, none of that happened. And you just gotta say, chemistry 101. I mean, do we have it? Do we have the name an element on the periodic table? Aluminum, hydrochloric acid, fluorite. Is that it? Oh, that's a crystal. Well, anyway, you don't have it. I don't see it. I don't see chemistry. You didn't yammy in the morning. You didn't yammy in the night. You went and you rode go-karts on a track, and that was exciting. And I found out something interesting about Kim that I did not know. I did know she'd been in the Air Force, and I think that's wicked cool. And she said I didn't write down the number of times, but she has jumped out of planes and then she's skydiving, skydiving. She's What's the difference between jumping out of a plane and skydiving? Can someone tell me? Can someone tell me what is the difference between skydiving and jumping out of the plane? Because she said them like they were in two different categories. And I want to go skydiving. Is anyone with me on that? Like, I'm serious. I have one person, my friend's daughter, is willing to go with me. And I want to do it. I want to try it. I think it'd be really fun. Maybe I'll be too scared. But if I'm strapped to an instructor, then I'll just have to live with it. I watched a YouTube video on, I guess the feeling like you're gonna die goes away after a minute because the perspective of the plane and falling. Once you stop seeing the plane, you don't feel like you're falling anywhere. Anyway, she's a thrill seeker, but then they proceed to get in go-karts and drive around the track, which I mean, I could do that and consider it fun, but I wouldn't exactly call it like thrilling, like zip lining, extreme zip lining. I did that recently in Costa Rica. You could see the pictures of it on one of my other videos. Um, Maybe I will put a card. Maybe I'll experiment with putting cards in my YouTube videos. And I could put a card right here at 35 minutes, 36 minutes, and I could post my Costa Rica video. But I don't know if that will go. All right, there might be a card there at some point. We'll see if I feel like editing this and I can figure out how. So anyway, they go on a racetrack that happens, and then they have a conversation about second wife, and they're not on the same page. And Usman's aware that this is not a thing that Kim's going to be okay with, and she says, "I don't want to see the other wife. I'm not a sister wife." You mean you're not Mormon? You're not on the show Sister Wives, but if you're in a maybe I don't know, but if you're in a polygamous relationship and you are a wife and there's a second wife, a third wife, are you sister wives? Isn't that the term? Is there another term that I don't understand? Am I confused? Explain. Explain. I'm trying to figure out. Hold on. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out what I know that when I look at my videos back and I'm on my computer, I'm not looking at the camera. And when I look at the camera, I look like I'm looking above where I'm supposed to be looking. So I don't know where to look. I'm sorry, guys. So I'm sort of like all over the place. Okay. So moving on. She doesn't want the so Soldier Boy Usman says the wife will live in the home in Sokoto, which is where his family lives, I believe. So the family home. And Kim was like, no. And he said, well, you're sharing the same yummy. You're not going to see her. And she got very upset because apparently it was a shock to her that they would be having sex in order to produce children. Yeah, Kim, you need to address this poly relationship in a way where you are. Maybe you need to be realistic and say I'm not going to be able to accept it, or maybe I don't know. Maybe you need to, but you've got to allow that other wife to have love and to feel like a human being. You'll be able to do it. I have faith in you. I do. You can do it. You can do it. You can. Okay? You can. If he's not going to love you any less. If he loves you, he's going to love her too. I know that's hard. You know what it is? It's probably a fear of abandonment. And I'm sorry. And that's hard. So there's got to be a lot of trust there. And I don't know if it's there. So I'm going to move on. Kim thinks she can dictate where second wife lives. Kim, you can't control. You as first wife are not a dictator, and you're not controlling, and you're not subjugating other people. Don't do that. That's not a good look. It's just not. All right. Ed and Liz. Okay, I got to talk about them, and I'm going to do it quickly. Here's the thing. I'm not upset. I took my hair out. Okay. Maybe this is entertaining for people, for me to play with my hair while I do my recap. Or maybe it's really annoying. And you know what? It doesn't matter. It's what I'm going to do. Ed and Liz are on, and we're just going to talk about them very quickly. Honestly, the two dogs, we found out the new puppies were named Leah and Leon, and they're cute. Liz, they meet up with Liz's friend so first of all, they got into pajamas, went to bed. Well, Liz was in pajamas, Ed was going to get into pajamas. They discussed the fight with Rich, and Ed called Rich out. Liz doesn't want Rich around anymore, blah, 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 blah. Ed is still saying the same kinds of things. I'm choosing my soulmate. Okay. How's she your soulmate, Ed? There's a chemistry issue there as well. So we met with Liz's friend, who I really liked. His name was Barry. And Barry was cool. They met Barry for lunch, and for once he wasn't, the friend, not that he did. Usually the friend's kind of an ass. This guy was the opposite of that. He's a nice guy. He was in Marine Corps, a veteran, or he had served in the Marine Corps, Semper Fi, always faithful. I learned what that meant. We didn't get the whole typical line from Barry. Oh, maybe we did. He seemed like a nice guy, very supportive. Ed went to the bathroom so they could chat, blah, 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 blah. Now, I do want to point out, back to the dogs, Liz said that Ed shouldn't be giving the dogs treats after they come in the house and go pee, because he's rewarding bad behavior. Liz, you do the same thing, right? You do the same thing. Did anyone else get that? Liz does the same exact thing. Ed breaks up with her. Is broken up with her 8 times. And yeah, I'm glad you are in therapy, Ed. I'm glad you went, or therapy is in the past. And we didn't have to see it on TV, because I don't think we should be watching your therapy on TV. I think that means it might be a real therapy and serious therapy. But you did it for 6 months. That does not a fixed person make. And not that you're broken either, Ed. I don't mind seeing you, Ed. It's just, I don't know. The relationship doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to me. But you know what? That's okay. You guys went on a photography shoot. They're going to shoot Liz's friend Alex, who's pretty. Did Ed get you guys creepy vibes when he did his photography shoot? Did he? He said to the model, he said, this is Liz's friend, supposedly. I think it was the person that the producers got to pose, because she didn't seem like Liz's friend. But Ed was saying, well, it's a lot easier when the model is beautiful. He sounded really creepy when he said that. And Liz came to the conclusion that Ed uses his photography to flirt with women and be creepy. And yeah, it certainly seems that way. Not to take away from his talent as a photographer, but I've seen photographers work before, and I don't know that they are that creepy. I mean, maybe some are, but I don't think that would go over well. And I know that we've seen rumor that Ed has been more than creepy with people. They argue because Liz says that in the photograph, the model looked like she has no neck, and Ed took umbrage to that because he is sensitive to the no neck comment. And also, he doesn't feel it's very professional to say something like that about the model. Probably not. And I don't think that in the dynamic that they have, I don't think that Liz should be learning photography from Ed. The relationship is contentious enough as it is. Don't get in that situation. That's a bad idea. So that's all. Liz stormed off in a huff. That was it. Bilal and Cheetah. I didn't like this segment. It didn't make me feel good. So we have another lecture from Bilal. They're discussing the fight with, I'm going to go over the notes very quickly. So it's been the next day, and apparently there's been snow And Shada has never really dealt with a snow day in her life. And she's like, "What do people do when it snows?" And I live in New England. I mean, if it really snows, we stay home. If it really snows, it's got to be a whopper though. It's got to be a nor'easter. It's got to be some, some feet of snow, not inches. But I know that in like other states that don't see snow that often, they shut down for a dusting of snow. So I'd love to know how much snow they really got. Anyway, that's not important. So they're saying there's been no peace. Belial says the worst case scenario is what happened with Shahida, the ex-wife last time. Belial launches into lecture mode. I mean, if my partner talked to me like this, I would walk out of the room. My partner is not, this is not a way that I expect another adult to talk to me. So I don't know why Shade is putting up with it, honestly. He says to her, "I expect the best from you." And he says words like, "What I'm trying to get you to understand is that you cannot let other people dictate your behavior. Don't talk to me like that. Why do you need to get me to understand anything? You know more than me about life, sir? I don't think so. I don't think so. You are in some kind of position as my partner to lecture me and to tell me what you need to get me to understand? Why? Why? No, that is not how you talk to your partner. That's how you talk to a child. And maybe, or someone you're mentoring, possibly. I'm getting maybe a spiritual advice. I don't know. I don't know what kind of scenario that is acceptable discourse. I just don't. What I'm trying to get you to understand is you can't let other people dictate your behavior. He felt like Shada was out of line. Well, my memory of the argument was that she wasn't any more out of line than Shahida, what had Shahida said? All her San Diego's gonna come out, her San Francisco's gonna come out, or her some city, some urban area in California was going to come out of Shida last time, which I assume was a threat. It was the vernacular of somebody who is trying to be scrappy but isn't normally scrappy. But I mean, I'm worse because I don't remember the city that was coming out. So, and I'm sure it wasn't the San Francisco. I don't think that anybody threatens anybody with their inner San Francisco. And I mean, maybe they'd be like me threatening people with my inner Hillsborough, New Hampshire. My Hillsborough is going to come out. That's not a threat. But I don't know. The threat might have been a threat, but she didn't threaten. She simply did not accept there was no apology. And I mean, it was a disagreement over a disagreement. That was it. I mean, really, gosh, what? So Bilal didn't like it. He felt that she needed to be a dignified Muslim woman. And Shada said, "Bilal, you need to stand up for me." She was upset that in that instance, he hadn't taken her side and stood up for her. Here's the thing. She also thinks that at some point he's going to change. What? Are you new, Shada? Are you new to human nature? What in the world has given you any indication that this man is going to change? You've been asking to see the same changes since day one with these people, with this man. You're not going to see him change. And she cried, and he said, "Well, what is your point right now? What is this point right now? Is this about you blaming her?" Basically accusing her of playing the victim. I mean, she's crying because she's upset that he's still lecturing her. He's still acting like an asshole. And like he's better than she is. He's superior to she and doesn't empathize in the least with her pain. Zero validation of her pain, just none. So good riddance to that segment. It's over. Sorry, Bilal and Cheetah. I don't like it. I don't like the segment. I don't want to go so far as to say I don't like you, but if the foo shits, if the shoe fits. And there's a joke that the punchline is if the foo shits. It's a very long and rambling joke, and I've been on here 50 minutes, and I need to get to. I think that all we have left is Jovi and Yara, and I really do want to get to Jovi and Yara. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Did I sound like Machine Gun Kelly? Let's talk about it. I didn't. So I don't even know why I don't even remember any other lyrics to that song. Okay. Kevin, who is my fiance, and I really like Jovi and Yara. Love Jovi and Yara. So to summarize, Jovi and Yara, they're going to see Gwen because there was apparently a big. Well, first of all, am I starting at the beginning here? Can I find them in my notes? There we go. Yes, they're right here. Jovi apparently got into a fight with his mom about 6 months back because apparently, and nobody contested any of the facts here. Apparently, Yara had been complaining that Gwen was not as helpful as a grandmother as she had expected, and apparently she'd been complaining about it to Jovi rather than to Gwen. And Gwen and Yara seemed to have been pretty tight, and maybe Yara could have brought that up to Gwen. So Jovi, took it all out on Gwen, his mom, and said, "Look, you're not helping Yara out. Why can't you step up and help Yara out?" And Miss Gwen's like, "Excuse me?" And Gwen is just the Southern classy lady. But at the same time, she was saying, well, if Yara has a problem with me, why didn't she tell me about it? Why are they having a fight behind my back about it? And then I get to hear about it from Jovi, and she was really hurt by it. So they go out a boat. Is it a ferry? Is it a cruise? Is it a day cruise? It looks like winter. Now, the whole time I'm watching this segment, I'm trying to judge what month we're in because it's very evident that this is pre-invasion. And it's winter. It looks like winter, so it's got to be imminent. And I'm guessing we're going to see the invasion happen while the show is airing. While the show is airing. Well, yeah, not airing. While the show is taping, the invasion is going to happen because they talk about that quite a bit. So they have a discussion about the child, the helping out with Mila, and Gwen says, "I'm not anybody's nanny." And I get it. I mean, when I had kids, my mom said, "Yeah, just so you know, I'm not a babysitter." And my mom helped me out with my kids sometimes, absolutely, but she was not a babysitter. And that was never the expectation. And Yara said, "Yeah, it's much different in Ukraine. You have to kind of shove the grandmother out the door. They're always there, and they're sort of basically in Ukraine. They are the nanny. So again, we have a cultural difference. The expectation Yara had was that grandma's going to help me out with the baby. And Gwen, that's just not. In some parts of America, that is a thing. It just depends on the family, and in some parts, it's just not. And Gwen, much like my mother, I raised my kid. I'm done. You have a baby. I would love to spend time with your baby, and then send you home at the end of the day. I'm not changing diapers as a rule. I'm not, feeding. I'm not doing all of the work. I mean, when you go out, sure, absolutely, every once in a blue moon, but as a regular rule of thumb, I am not the nanny. So that's all that was. And I get it. I totally get it. And Yara's green card interview is coming up, and she's so excited about this because the interview is tough. We've seen this interview happen with other cast members in the past, and they really grill them to make sure they have a real relationship. Well, you know what? I would be very upset with the interview committee, whoever does that, if they decided that Yara and Jovi were not in a real relationship. They don't know each other's favorite colors or favorite sandwich very well. Apparently, Yara's favorite color is beige. Well, I didn't know that. I thought it was Jovi gets pink. And, if it wasn't going to be pink, I would have just like white. Because remember the whole white rug, fluffy white rug thing? The favorite color is white rug. And they didn't know each other's favorite food. Well, she said Joey's was chicken parm. She thought, and he thought hers was chicken Caesar salad. And he said, well, basically we've got a baby, so that's got to prove that we're in a real relationship. And Yara said, I don't think that really goes very far to prove anything. So I don't really know. I'm just thinking now that we have the war, that she's got to be somehow qualifying under refugee status, right? I mean, I used to work at a refugee center. I know a little bit about this, and I think that those rules apply to her now. So what she's excited about is not working necessarily, because Yara has been doing her own clothing line and she's doing just fine there. I mean, but she's more excited about going to visit, because once they get she gets her green card, she can go back and visit her mom. Her mom's not living in Ukraine; she's living in Czech Republic, which is good. But the talk is, and Gwen's very worried about this, hey, wait, going back to Ukraine, going back to even Czech Republic might be a bad idea. If you go there, you're going to get stuck, because we're almost at war. And we're looking at this now in hindsight saying, oh. And I believe I remember having, at the time of the invasion, being on Instagram and following the 90-day crowd, and also on Facebook following the 90-day crowd. And now I no longer have Facebook or Instagram. And so I was watching, and I remember, they were talking about Yara was very worried, and, checking in about the family being okay. And I remember Yara was saying, what's going on in the news? Yara spoke to her mom on the phone in this episode. And she said, Mom, after I get my green card, I'm coming back. And Mom said, yeah, well, on the news here, we're hearing that there's not going to be a war. And there's no problems at all. And Yara said, well, here, we're getting scared. I mean, it sounds like Russia might invade Ukraine, which we know did happen. So Yara said, we call Russia brother. I mean, it's 2022. How could we be at war? How could we go to war with Russia? It doesn't make any sense. And I just feel sad for Yara. And I do see that it seems like the invasion is going to happen as we watch the show. But that'll be hard, because that's not fake. That's real. Watching somebody go through real fear for their family, real hurt, real pain. That's a little bit hard. And I just feel bad because you see it coming. And also, Yara's just so cute to watch. The two of them, Yara and Jovi, are just so cute to watch. Mom is in Prague. Yara also mentioned that she grew up in the 90s, and her mom was a single mom, and her mom was really skinny because she didn't eat a lot, and it was really difficult. Her mom worked so much, and watching, growing up in the 90s. Now, Kevin and I looked at each other. She grew up in the 90s. She had to have been really young in the 90s, because what, she 27? I mean, I feel like I grew up, well, I was a teenager in the 90s. So to hear somebody that's in their 20s say they grew up in the 90s was a little confusing to me, but she doesn't mean I came of age in the 90s, I guess. She was a little kid in the 90s. I was a little kid in the 70s and 80s. So anyway, yeah. So it was entertaining to watch them, but I just feel sad because we know what's going to happen. Did I miss anybody? I think I didn't miss anybody, and I've been on here just about 59 minutes, so I'm going to end this. Yeah. Oh, by the way, thank you for being here. If you are new, please subscribe, click the button. Hey, and even if you're not going to subscribe, just thumbs up the video. It makes me so happy when I see that somebody liked my video. Like it. Like the video. I would be really happy. I'm known in the cottage, coming to you from the cottage, with your content on all things gnome, which at this point is reality TV and other random things. There was a chicken in my recap the other day. So, like, thank you so much for being here. Let me know what other kinds of content you like. What I want to know in my comment section is, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of Jovignara? What do you think of Blau and Cheetah? What else do you want me to cover? Any shows coming up you want me to cover? Reality TV or otherwise? And aside from that, I will bid you adieu, farewell, so long. It has been a pleasure. Good day or good night, wherever you are, near or far, from me to you.